Hi, let's face it, writing a blog post can be time consuming and tedious. On average, it takes about 4 hours. But what if I told you that writing a blog post can actually be done in 20 minutes using AI? You heard it right, AI. Keep watching to find out how. My name is Jackie Green from Behind the Design, and if you're a busy designer who loves the benefits of blogging but doesn't necessarily have the time to write the blogs, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you exactly how you can use AI to write your blog post in less than 20 minutes. So if you're ready to speed up your blog content using AI, grab a pen and a notepad and let's get started. We know that blogging can position us as an authority in the design world. It can also improve your website's position and search engine results. So when someone's actually looking for your services, where you appear in the search engine is really important to whether how much traffic you're going to get to your website. And then it also helps convert those website visitors to actual prospects, giving you that opportunity to sell your services to them. But who has time to write blog posts? You're busy serving your clients today, therefore you need a quick solution that can help you write quality content in a limited amount of time. Now the first problem you may face is what to write about. I have a free download with a year's worth of blog topics that your audience will love to read. I've included the link below, and this free download gives residential designers, commercial designers, and architects enough topics to fill your content calendar for an entire year. Now with AI, it can help you brainstorm additional topics. So for this video, I'm using ChatGPT. Now the 3.5 version is free for anyone who signs up, while the 4.0 version costs about $20 a month. The key to getting the most out of AI is the prompt. What you put into the message here is important. The better quality that you put into the prompt, the better output you're going to get. Think about AI as an employee. You can speak casually, but very specific in the instructions. Start with what role is ChatGPT taking? You have to let it know, hey, I want you to act like this. So I've actually copied these into a Google Doc so that you don't have to watch me type. And I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to paste in, you're an amazing residential interior designer and your work has been featured in many design magazines. Now I want to tell Chat who they will be talking to by using my ideal client. I've written a short paragraph that just basically highlights my ideal client. And I'm going to paste it in here. Now be sure not to hit your return button because then it'll go ahead and post into the chat. So your ideal client is a professional woman in her 40s with a college education, married with 2 kids, and owns a home. She often entertains friends and family in her home, and she takes pride in how her home looks and feels when people visit. Now your details in your ideal client might go into a little bit more about what she enjoys doing, some of her hobbies, her age of her kids, the type of profession she has, whatever your ideal client, you want to plug that in. Now next, you want to give it a task. You want to tell Chat, hey, I need you to do this. So in this case, I'm going to ask Chat to write 10 blog post topics with a summary of each that my target audience will find educational and entertaining while also promoting my design services. So I've written this all to ChatGPT as if he is me. And then all I simply do is hit the little arrow button and Chat will go to work. Okay, now with ChatGPT, it may take a little while for it to produce all 10. But as you can see, I have 10 topics, from transforming your living room into a welcoming hub for guests, all the way to smart home integration, balancing tech and design. So let's start with the first one. I'm going to choose transform your living room into a welcoming hub for guests. So I'm just going to highlight this and hit copy. And I'm going to put this into the chat, and I'm going to say, thank you for these great topics I would like to focus on, and I would tell it which ones I want to focus on. Now, here's the thing about ChatGPT, or any AI for that. You need to be polite, and you always need to say thank you, and you have to give it positive feedback to further strengthen your content. So the more feedback you give it, the better it's going to produce for you. Just like an employee, you engage your employees, you give them encouraging words, you tell them where they can improve in a positive way, and then their work will improve, ideally. So I'm going to add that into the prompt, that I'm going to say thank you. You can see, thank you for the great topics I would like to focus on, and I put that in here in the summary. Now, write a blog article that is educational and entertaining and is precisely 1,000 words. I'm going to get very specific on this because I want to write 2 introductory paragraphs explaining what will be discussed in this blog post, then break the content into 3 sections using subheads. Using the following keywords, and I always want to use those keywords. What keywords do you use or that your audience would use to identify you? You want to constantly be using those keywords because that tells Google this is what that content is about. The other thing I want to point out is the whole educational and entertaining. The 2 reasons why people read blog posts are, 1, that they read it to learn something. So educational is key. And then the second reason, that's like 62% according to HubSpot. People read blogs because they want to actually learn something. And another 51% want it to entertain them. And so I always say, hey, I want this educational and I want it entertaining. Now, chat's not always good about entertaining or being witty, but it's still fun to put it in there. So once I hit all this, I just click on the arrow again, and it's going to now write additional information. Now again, it'll take a little bit of time for it to write it, but it does. And sometimes it follows all the directions, and sometimes it doesn't always follow all the directions. But I get the basic draft of what I might be able to write about. Now, just a little bit of heads up. I have tried using the word exactly, at least a minimum word count, to get the correct word count, and I have yet to get AI to give me the exact correct number of words. So you kind of have to play with it. However, you're going to take this content and you're going to adjust the content, and that'll allow for more words. Now, once chat has written the content, now it's time to evaluate and adjust it accordingly. So if I'm looking through here, I think I asked it to write 2 paragraphs. I would shorten this section into 2 to 3 paragraphs because remember, when somebody is reading on a blog on your post, most often they are skimming. And so shorter paragraphs with less number of sentences in them will help them scan more quickly. And then I'm going to show, okay, this first one is a cohesive color scheme and ambiance. So it goes into color and lighting and the importance of both of these things. Now, I may want to expand this. So I need more content, right? I want to go into more detail here. And so what I might want to do is select this section and copy it. And then I can go down to my message in ChatGPT and say, and ask it to expand it. So I'm going to say thank you. Can you expand with more details the following passage? Here it's a really good idea to tell it questions it might want to ask. I type that in, I go in, and I just hit again. Now, the thing about ChatGPT, and not all of them do this, sometimes it'll rewrite all of this completely, and then sometimes it'll just give you that section. So you're piecemealing the sections together. And so I can ask questions. I can say, hey, can you go into details about X, whatever the topic is? And that will help me actually build out more content around that topic. Now remember, AI doesn't know your voice. It doesn't know your brand. It doesn't know your tone unless you're actually purchasing an AI product. and you're able to teach it this information, so you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're reviewing the content. Does this sound like something you would actually write? The other thing about AI, it doesn't always get facts right. It's important to review and adjust the copy accordingly. It also does not recognize your design style you offer to your audience. While it may recommend bold colors and textures, your style is more natural with muted colors and textures. So be sure the content reflects what you would recommend to your clients. Once you have a good draft, now you can copy the content and put it in a Word doc or a Google Doc. Now read through the content, make adjustments so the content sounds like you. One way to do this is to add a personal story of how this advice applied to a client's project. Now, I hope you found this helpful. Be sure to jump over to the BehindTheDesignCode.com website to grab your 150 blog topics. And I will see you next time at Behind the Design.